What do we need to transform? Part 2. As mentioned in my previous videos, transformation is a very important topic right now, since we are going through very difficult times where we really need to be able to transform our old stuff within and support transformation in the outer world. As mentioned in my previous video, the two very essential elements to transformation are the analysis of the several levels where we need to transform. Maybe you remember physical level, emotional level, mental level, and spiritual level, because this can help us to find the right tool to transform, and it can help us to understand ourselves better. And secondly, we also need to be present and energetically in our physical body in order to be able to really transform our old emotions and mental beliefs. So now I would like to talk about a third very important element which can block transformation. And I would also give you suggestions how you can, let's say, use it in a very positive way to support your transformational process. And the third element is to be attached to the story. And here I want to talk about two things. So firstly, what does it mean to be attached to the story? And secondly, what can we do about it? And how can we use it for our benefit? So what does it mean to be attached to our story? What's the story? So if we experience something really, really challenging, if we are abused or betrayed, or let's say if our parents didn't really take care of us the way we would have wished for, or if our boss isn't behaving very fair with us, etc. This is a story, right? Or if we have the impression that we are always the victim and always the negative things happen to us and other people are so happy, or the other way around, that we have the impression that we can manage everything, but we have to fight for it. This is a story, right? And of course, these stories can hurt us, but it's in the end, it's not about the story. Yeah, it's about our point of view of the story and our attachment to the story. So if something happens to us, let's say we are abused or betrayed, or a person has lied to us or has behaved very unfair to us, for some reason it had to happen to us and not to another person. So why did it happen to us, right? And now we always have the decision. If we stay attached to that and we say like, oh, it had happened to me because I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm the victim of the world, let's say, I'm exaggerating, or that I will never find a man who will really love me, or, all of the things which we start to believe because we believe that story and we are attached to that story. Yeah, which is blocking our transformation. And another example I always see every day in my practice. When my clients come to me, and of course, at the beginning, they tell me the story that happened, and they tell me the story why they are here, right? So they tell me their childhood story about the parents, or the relationship story that they have been betrayed, for example, right? Which is fine. When I see the person the first time, I like to hear the story to understand this person and to see what has happened, right? But the thing is, very often my clients stay caught up in the story. They stay lost in the story. They're always telling me the same thing time and again. He has done this and she has done this and my parents have done this, etc. Right? So in the end, they are telling me what has happened, and they are here for themselves talk about them, but they are talking about the other people. Does it help? No. So, and in that moment when we stay lost in the story, right? We are like continuously talking about other people, about what has happened. We lose our power because we don't focus on our power within to transform the things. We are leaving ourselves behind or beside, right? To not feel what's going on. So once again, we are not really present, and we just focus our attention and so our energy to the outer world. And in that moment, we have lost our power of transformation. So, and when we finally start to understand that, okay, this person has maybe behaved in a negative way, but this is her stuff or his stuff, right? And I have to check what's going on within me. Then we have come one step closer to transformation. What has happened within me? Why did I attract it? And what has happened within me, like pain or sadness or anger, or my need of being respected has been hurt, right? So really check what has happened within yourself and let the story go more and more, right? Because like from a spiritual point of view, this is just a journey, right? And we are just traveling like through some experiences. Imagine you are traveling with by train through Germany, yeah, so you pass by Berlin, Hamburg, whatever, and then yeah, you move forward. And the same is with life, right? We experience to be the victim, let's say, or abused or whatever. And yeah, I know it's really hard. I have also experienced a lot of heavy stuff in my life, in my past, but I've understood that this was a story, and I took a lot of time to really transform that within me, so I really can perceive that as an experience, and I have learned that I'm more than that. This was just an experience to learn a lot of stuff about myself, to heal some parts, and then to let go of the story, because you are not your story, you are much more. Yeah, you are much more than that, and you can take the experiences you make in your story, yeah, to grow, but then let the story go and integrate what you've learned about it. Second part, what can we do about it? I already mentioned a bit that we should focus on ourselves, right? Not on the story. Maybe you can tell the story once or twice, that's fine. Just to, to talk about it, to tell some friends about it, and to feel listened and understood, which is fine. But then, yeah, go within and really check what is going on within you, what has happened within you in that story, what has hurt you, right? Not the other person, not what the other person said or did, and how can she, etc. No, it's not about that. Otherwise, you lose yourself in the story, and then you cannot transform anything. And think about every time when you send out like negative energy or judgment or other like negative thoughts, in the end you are nourishing this person with energy, and the negative thoughts, the negativity will come back to the same intensity you have sent it out. So in the end, it's not really worthy energetically to send out negative thoughts or criticism. So I really recommend you, when you have a story, you see you have a story, you are not your story. When you have a story, just go through that story, yeah, and perceive. So when he said that, how did I feel? What has happened within me? When I did that, why did I do that? What was the motivation to tell him whatever negative stuff? Or then go one step forward. So what has happened afterwards? Then he left me, then he closed the door. What has happened within me then? Maybe you felt alone, you felt left behind, you felt abandoned. Maybe you know this feeling from your childhood. Okay, so it's time to work with your inner child, for example. And then you can really use the story to heal the parts within you that need healing. So in my opinion, the story can be used really when you go through the story one step after the other, and you are connected to your body, physically present, right, as mentioned before, and you just feel what has happened in these moments. And when you feel, now when you're thinking about this moment, when, for example, he left and closed the door, then you feel calm about it, then you have transformed it. This is my goal when I work with clients. So doesn't matter what heavy story they have. When I work with people, I go really through the story, one step after the other, and we check where we need to heal what. So for example, so when he left, he closed the door, and I felt abandoned. In my childhood, my father has abandoned me when I was 3 years old, for example. Yeah, so then we have the link to that, and we can take care of the inner child. And then when we do like an excursion and go to the inner child and start to heal, to work with the inner child, accept the inner child, give him love, whatever, then you come back and you feel different. Then you move forward. So what has happened afterwards? Afterwards, you had like a dispute. Then maybe you didn't like it, but you felt fine because you're quite good at saying what you need. So you know, this moment is fine. Then you move forward. What's the next point? There you felt really when he said this and that to you, or she said that to me, whatever. You felt like hurt, or you felt disrespected. Why is that? So should you respect yourself a bit more, for example? Or should you take more care of yourself, right? So my advice to you is go through the story and use it like as a tool to find out where your parts within are that need healing. And according to that, right, you can choose different tools which you maybe already know, or I will also present some tools in the following videos, right? Because there are a lot of easy tools how you can transform things by yourself. But you need to, in my opinion, you need to organize yourself first, to don't be like lost in the story, or to don't escape energetically, to not feel the pain, right? So we need some elements before you use the tools. And now we are on the journey for better transformational practice, so that you can heal yourself more and more and support others in their healing and transformational process. So if you like my video, please subscribe for the next videos, which will come about other transformational tools and elements of transformation and ideas. And if you have any suggestions or questions about transformation, about some tools, maybe you have found out something, just text me or write down in the comments. And yeah, I hope to see you soon, and wish you a lot of joy with using the tool of the story to transform. Thank you very much.